I created a PvP build in New World that is easy and cheap to get, very effective as a solo player or with a group, usable with any weapon combo, and uses an artifact and gear that is almost never used. I'm Doomsday, and I've spent way too many hours in New World.
Bruh.
I stream 5 days a week on twitch.tv/FCDoomsday with my cats. We do a mix of PV and PvP on Barry, Monday to Friday, with a fantastic community if you want to drop in and ask any questions or just hang out with some good music. For the past few seasons, New World has been dominated by a particular PvP meta. I call it Triple D, which stands for Dots, Disease, and Debuffs. The Firestaff, Bow, Musket, Spear, and the Blunderbuss artifact Pestilence all apply a combination of Rend, Disease, and Weaken, as well as damage over time effects like burns, bleeds, and elemental drops from rune glasses. If they don't kill you outright, chances are you're going to burn or bleed out if you manage to kill them or get away. The usual answer is to swap to a heavier build or more con, but all you're doing is delaying your death a bit longer and doing less damage. How many times have you died and seen one of these weapons in the kill screen? So how do you combat Triple D to stay alive without needing best in slot heavy armor and a friendly pocket healer on call 24/7? In this fight, I'm getting slapped around by multiple enemies in a medium build, cobbled together gear, yet I'm surviving where I shouldn't. I'm not a god at PvP, I never claimed to be, and I end up stunned and stammed out quite a few times, but I'm able to keep going when I should die multiple times. How? Playing this section with the health bar magnified, the red lasts around 4 seconds instead of 6 to 12. That means that I'm not losing outgoing damage and increasing incoming damage. The answer is a largely ignored artifact, the Jin head wrap, and 2 armor perks that usually end up salvaged when people get them, Invigorated and Vigor. This artifact has a perk called Trogoff that drops dots and debuff duration by 20%, and with a few extra pieces with Invigorated and Vigor, all those red icons above your health bar cease to exist and you stop dying as much. In this fight, it kept me on the point doing damage until eventually we turned the tide in our favor and got me a few kills. I use Jin as a base for most of my PvP builds in melee and magic in different equip loads. I have as many crossover pieces as possible because frankly I'm cheap, and I constantly swap and test new combos and new weapon sets, so I don't want to be buying stuff all the time. So how do you get started? First, check your storages. Jin is probably in there gathering dust if you've been around since the start of Elysian Wilds. If not, then you're going to have to do some chest runs. Jin drops in Elysian Wilds with a relatively high chance from pretty much any elite chest in elite areas. It's around 10% drop rate, and also from a few random name mobs. It sucks, but you might get a cheeky scarab or 2 in the process to make it less painful, and it's less soul-crushing than pushing PvP track over and over and not getting the artifact you want, like Serenity or Ankh. Jump into a Zervan train or Tribunal and get Zerging. Once you have Jin, then to unlock the extra perks on it, you need to kill a few different enemy types. The easiest spot to get it done all at once is near the Bullseye Settlement, running a loop around Sekor Bridge, and it should take around half an hour to an hour, even solo, to kill everything you need. As a bonus, you can farm up a bunch of Dark-Eyed and Petrified Hearts in the process. I use the same area to level up my Void Darkplate. From there, start to look for pieces in your storage or on the trading post that fit your equip load and weapons you want to run. I primarily run medium, because I'm an idiot, and don't avoid damage, so I run a heavy chest and legs with light hands and feet. In light, it's a mix and match of light and medium pieces to get you as close as possible to the 12.9 weight for maximum armor. In heavy, you obviously lose a bit of physical and elemental armor thanks to running a medium head, but if you're running with flail and shield or sword and shield, you really don't notice any difference. Put Vigor and Invigorated as my primary slot. So I want 1 to 2 pieces of Vigor in medium and 2 to 3 pieces in light. The rest I want Invigorated for that first slot. From there, prioritize your most important weapon perks, or if you run Harnessing or Freedom. If you don't need those, then a solid defensive perk or Refreshing is never going to hurt. If you can stack a few pieces with Enchanted Ward, Conditioning, or Elemental as the final perk, those are all great options. Shirking Heals is very good and works incredibly well with the reduction of disease, but you need to be running at least 3 pieces, and 3 pieces Invigorated for best effect, and that gets expensive quickly. Final piece of the puzzle is Desert Sunrise. This cuts dot damage by 17.5%, so it's equivalent to having an extra piece of vigor on your armor. Usually run a minimum of 150 constitution, so I don't find the value in the health perk on my gear. It doesn't give me a significant advantage to be worth having over other defensive perks, but you do you. On screen are some of the builds I run, from 150 all the way to 350 con. Most are slapped together from bits of my storages. Nothing's perfect. The common theme between them all is a minimum of 3 invigorated, and usually at least 1 vigor, but not set in stone. My sword and shield spear build is my most expensive, as I crafted 3 pieces, as I wanted to try it full shirking heals. It's strong, it's very, very strong, and I can run low con with it. Consumables wise, there's no magic tricks here, just health, mana, and regen potions. I don't use serum because I can't guarantee I'll have a healer, and I like pot cooldown. And I run gemstone dust in case I'm fighting a flamethrower. Weapons wise, choose whatever you want. Bonus if you are running a weapon set that inflicts any of the triple D, because you can get rid of it, they can't. So now you've got these pieces in a build together, you're a god, and everyone must bow down to you, right? It's a strong build, but nothing is invincible. Big spikes of damage will kill you, especially if you're in light, same as any other build. Blunderbuss, bow, and greatsword still hurt a lot. You might be limited on slots for freedom, depending on what armor you can get, or refreshing, so some builds, you're going to have to work harder on your cooldowns and avoiding CC. Standing in bile bombs, flamethrowers, and meteor showers suck, so get out of them as quickly as possible into clear ground and use your own escape or CC to combat them. It's standard MMO stuff. Stay in your happy circles, stay out the unhappy circles. The final caveat is this is not a war build. Cleanse potions do the same job as Jin, leaving 5 slots open on your armor for more defense or damage. So that's where Void Darkplate and Tumblers have more value. This is a build that is primarily for open world PvP, OPR, arena, places like that. It's the kind of place where you can't guarantee you're going to get a pocket heal all the time, and where the primary source of pain is likely to be the meta weapons, especially ranged. So that's the build in a nutshell. It's a guideline and a direction over having to build it exactly how I've done. I'm still tinkering with it. Play around with your jewelry, armor, gems, and resistances to your needs, and let me know in the comments below how you find it. Also, let me know what weapons you're running it with. The usual YouTube stuff. Liking, subscribing, and commenting helps an incredible amount for me, and I'll hopefully see you in the Twitch stream soon and with more videos shortly. Thank you.
Let the bass, let it boom, let it thump. Feel the rhythm of the breakbeat, feel the funk. Gotta move your body, gotta catch the groove. When the bass drops, it's gonna make